today's class, Wealth Mindset Mentorship. Ladies and gentlemen, what a beautiful week. What a beautiful day. Monday the 30th. Monday the 30th. Can you imagine this is the 30th day of the month of May 2022? Ladies and gentlemen, a lot has been happening way back in the past. And I'm pretty sure that you already getting value for being a member of this great community. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a beautiful day. My name is Dr. Afolabi Olatunji. We are live again on today's Wealth Mentorship Mindset class. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get into it straight up. We've been teaching our weekly teaching series from the year beginning has been, back-to-back value, no doubt. But today, I want to tell you why you shouldn't miss or why you should take this particular weekly teaching series. Very, very important. You see, we all aspire to change a whole lot in our life, but this is what we're going to be talking about this week. 30 ways on how you should change your life. 30 ways on how you can change your life. When I mean change your life, I mean change your life for the better. 30 ways, ladies and gentlemen, this is what we're going to be talking about. Are you sure you're ready? If you're ready, then let's do it. Ladies and gentlemen, number one way you can change your life is, I try to look at it in a way, and, I was doing my study and I said, the best way or the number one way into changing your life, in fact, we're going to be evaluating 3 ways. So today we will start with the number one. The first is to find out on how, or the first is lack of an idea. Lack of an idea. Ladies and gentlemen, what do I mean by lack of an idea? Idea rules everything. Idea rules the world, like they used to say. Idea is what really the birth, or I call the pillar of life change. For things to change, you have to have that idea. Lack of an idea has kept a lot of people incapacitated. You need to have an idea, ladies and gentlemen. What is it that you want to get into? And to have an idea, one of the things that is very important is to get to study on how things works. Study how things works. Whatever business, whatever thing you want to get into, you need to study it. You don't just jump from one to the other and just say, man, because this is what everybody is doing. This is how everybody is doing it. Find out on how things work. Now, when I mean find out, I'm not just saying you need to find out, just find out. I'm saying take your time to find out. What are the things that I need to learn? What are the things I need to know? What are the things I need to put into consideration before dabbling into this thing? Now, what I mean this thing, I mean everything that matters to life change. Everything, ladies and gentlemen. So, lack of an idea is a whole lot of things. So to get over it is to find out on how things works. That when you find out on how things work, guess what happened? You now need to start repeating that process. Now you need to repeat the process. When I mean repeating the process, I don't mean you just do it once. I mean, you keep repeating it over and over and over and over. What is the process? To study. The process is to study. Now, I put it very simple. Now, in fact, I was just looking up all manner of ways to break down study. And you'll be shocked. Now, to be successful, ladies and gentlemen, what do you have to do? Study success. Very, very simple. To be successful, you got to study success. Now, you see somebody that is successful in a given field, and you want to go into that same field. What are you supposed to do? Study his own lifestyle. Study how things works for him. So you can say the word study, that when you want to be successful, then study successful people. You want to be happy, ladies and gentlemen, what are you supposed to do? Study happiness. You want to be healthy, guess what you're going to do? Just study health. Whatever thing you want to do, go to study. Go to study. get through the work. The work is to put in things. Now, the best way I'm able to put it, ladies and gentlemen, I said, you may not be able to do all that you have found out, but guess what you can do is to make sure that all that you have found out, you are able to do it very well, right? You are able to do it very well. So you may not be able to do all that you find out, but the best way to find out is to make sure that you get to work. So when you get into work, ladies and gentlemen, put in everything you've got into everything that you do. I said this thing last week. Remember, we're talking about 3 ways to have that, to have the best of life for yourself. So we're talking about number 1. And this number 1 is so broadening. It's deep. So lack of an idea. Now, what can cause lack of an idea, or how do you get through to ensure that this syndrome or this disease of what I call lack of an idea is being eradicated? Is the way I put it. I said is to be curious about everything. Curiosity. If you are really curious about the life change, if you are really curious about starting a business that is you want to be on top of it, if you're really curious about that health, if you're really curious about that new level of yours, or maybe you want to get to the new level in your in your social gathering, maybe corporate world or some, guess what you're going to do? Get to make sure that you need to have what I call child curiosity. Do you know, as little or as young as our children are, for those that are married, can you imagine the way your children come to you? Now, many of you can attest to this on this call. Oh, daddy, I need this. Mommy, I need this. They will be on your neck, and until they get it, ladies, and they keep pestering you. They're going to keep knocking on your door. They're going to keep reminding you that, mommy, daddy, I need this, I need that. And guess what? You're not going to escape it until you get it for them, except maybe you don't have the financial wherewithal to. Even if you don't have the financial wherewithal to, you're not going to come out to them and say, I don't have it. You're going to tell them, oh, mommy's going to get it. God is going to provide for mommy and daddy to do it. Guess what? But the child is not going to stop. He's going to keep persisting and pushing and saying, I need it. So one of the ways to get through or to make sure that you're able to come up with that wonderful idea is to be curious. So I call it child curiosity. So 4 key points to that. Child curiosity. So you got to be curious like a child. The second one is that you need to be excited in the process. You have to be excited. Child are always excited. Oh, mommy is going to get me. The moment you tell them, oh, you know what? I'm going to do it for you. Guess what happened to that baby? That baby is going to be so excited. Can you imagine you putting the same principle into what you do? You have been excited. The third, ladies and gentlemen, is that you got to have a faith. Have a faith like a child. The moment the baby is excited or the child is excited, then have a faith. It goes about telling his colleagues, his classmates in school, my mom is going to do this, my dad is going to do this. Because of what? You sowed something in the mind of that baby. The baby is then curious. And the last one, ladies and gentlemen, is you got to have the trust. Sure, well, they have a trust. If that baby never have a trust in them or you as a parent, it's not going to have faith. And that part, again, is not going to be excited, not to talk of the fourth, which is being curious about pushing. He said, may I trust my daddy? What did they do? It's just a child. No wonder the Bible also further said, except you are like a child, you forget the kingdom of God. Can you imagine, ladies and gentlemen? So when you look at, when we talk, lack of idea, the way to get around it is to be curious. When you are curious about that life change, when you are curious about that new level, when you are curious about, what's about to happen. And you see, you're not just being curious alone. You're curious because of that vision you see of yourself. If you really like that person, that's why I said, if you want to be successful, study success. Successful people are really hardworking guys. So you want to be like one of them, study success. just shortly, I was just talking to Coach Dan and I said, Coach Dan, can you imagine how far we've gone on this program. Can you imagine we're just 8 months down? Can you imagine sometimes how lazy you are mentally and tired you are, and yet you still want to keep pushing. You want to keep putting up that, ensuring that you impact. What drives us is the fact that we want to see the blueprint in the lives of people, maybe for at least 5,000 lives, as we always have it as a goal. We keep getting up there, even when it's not convenient, even when it doesn't, even we come up with the idea. You got to be able to create content, weekly teaching series. It's not easy, but you have to look at it and see, we need to get going because we are going somewhere. So I not put it this way. I said the 3 ways to change anything. Now, that's another, this is sub point in what we're teaching, right? And the first, which is lack of an idea. The 3 ways to change anything is to become a good reader. Read anything. Now imagine someone that reads. Somebody once said, if you want to hide money from a black man, he said, hide it in a book. Many people don't know that, some riches, wealth are buried in the book. Most of the things that have caused my life change, this is my secret, ladies and gentlemen. It's in the book. It's in the book. I unravel these things in the book. And thank God for ebooks right now. So when I go online, I just put it up, ebooks. I just make sure I get a secret, what I need to get me going. And that's the reason why I'm able to achieve the level of success that I've had so far, so good. Study, ladies and gentlemen, and you have to be curious in the process of study. You are curious because you want that thing, and that's why you get to work. So don't just be that when you get into work, you are just like a follower every time. And that's it. Be a student. Don't be a follower. Make sure you are a student. A student is that person that takes note, that knows what to do to get everything. Can you remember when we're in school? You have to study to pass the exam. You have to study to go to the next grade, to the next level in your academic career. Without the study, you're not going to be able to be, to have your first degree, second degree, maybe up to the PhD level. You have to study, ladies and gentlemen. So number one way, or the number one way we can see that, you can save a whole long years of struggle is through book. You can save 5 years of struggle in just 1 year when you study. I take that again. You can change 5 years of struggle in 1 year. Through what? Through book. So the book is through study. So I want to encourage you this morning to start getting through it. Whatever thing you need, go online, get around successful people, and then listen. In the process of studying, you are listening to successful people. They have done it, and they put it in the book. As I say, I've got the secret here. Go there and go and unravel it. When you open the book, the secret is in there. So what are you supposed to do? Then, go through that book, read it, digest it, and then put it to work. So learn from the successful people. And I say again, to also learn from negative. You are learning from negative as well as positive. I can recall some of the things that I've get around with. I've learned from it. I don't look at some of the mistakes or some of the errors in my judgment. I don't let it to be a weight on my life. And I love to say this every time, most of you that are very close to me. I love the iconic Johnny Walker. They say, he keep on working. He keep on working. So I study from my past. I don't let my past hold me down. So when I look at my past, I look at my past as something that, as a lesson to help me put things around and come up with a better idea in how to look at my future. So my past will be at my back. And then what I do is that I study everything. I look at it. What are the things that I don't do well in this one? What are the mistakes that I did in this? Then I'm able to ensure that these mistakes, I put it into the new adventure I find myself. That's if I'm moving on. So you study from negative as well as positive. Just like the way you are looking at that thing, you're so excited, you're optimistic about your new life. And guess what? How about your home? Are you going to allow the mistake of the past to repeat itself in what you're doing again? So you don't want that. They say it's insanity to do the same thing over and over and get the same result. So you have to learn from your past and then be able to correct that in your future. Remember, we are still on get or lack of an idea. So when you look at this, ladies and gentlemen, you see that this is something that you really need to sit down and say, what are the things I want to get around? What are the mistakes I've done? So I want to encourage you to also look at that 3 ways you can change anything. Remember, I said the first is that you must become a good reader. So while you're becoming a good reader, you also need to also get around successful people and be a good listener. Many people don't like to listen. In fact, I put it this way. I said, I find out that it is easier to talk than, it's very difficult to listen than to talk. People can talk. We can talk, but it's hard to listen. It's hard to listen. We always want to put it, hey, you can talk. So somebody once said, Les Brown said, once you open your mouth, you tell the world who you truly are. And no wonder, you see, when you sit around most successful people, they can actually read you by the way you talk. So be a good listener also in the process. So one of the ways to change anything is to be a good listener. I want to encourage you to start listening. Sometimes don't think you know everything. Listen. Try and practice listening. It's easier to talk than to listen. It's very hard to listen. Listen and learn. Listen and learn. Learn, listen. One of my mentors said, poor people don't like to take rich people to dinner or to take them or invite them for lunch. Is it true? Now, if that is true, how about you start to do that and listen to that rich man? Remember, I told you, you want to study or you want to be successful, then study success. The way to study success is that maybe it can be so easy when you just say, sir, how are you, sir? Do you mind? Can I invite you for a lunch? Or can we have a breakfast? It's not because of the money. In fact, most poor people like to keep money in their pocket. They don't want to spend the money. You can tap an idea from rich people. Listen to what they have done to make their life better and to get their time. What about you telling them, spend little money, and then learn? I remember one of those days, myself and my wife, before we got married, there was this billionaire we went to meet. We got this man attention that time in Festac. We're about to do our wedding then. I learned a lot from that man. One of the things I learned from that man was that he said, make sure, he said, Afolabi, you will be successful, but you must be focused. If there's anything that I've learned from that man, it's focus, ladies and gentlemen. The man taught me focus. And that focus have gotten me this far. That whatever you focus on, expand. Whatever you don't focus on, shrinks. So why not stay focused, ladies and gentlemen? So when the man said focus, I kept that to my palm. I kept it in my palm and I'm like, okay. So this is, he said, just make sure you focus on what you're doing and put in the best into what you do. Ladies and gentlemen, that really helped me. So I want to encourage you this morning to make sure that you become a good listener in the process. And you also study. Learn from your negative as well as the positive. This way, ladies and gentlemen, and be curious about everything. The process of studying, you are curious. This is the best way you will start saying that, wow, truly, ideas can come. That idea that you have that you think is really hard, you can come around it, you can get around it. You will see that truly it's not the lack of an idea, it's just you whereby you're not able to put these principles to work. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you got value for being on this program this morning. Remember, our weekly teaching series is 3 ways to change your life. And the 3 ways to change your life today, we just delve with lack of an idea. We're going to take you more on how others work. So tomorrow, we'll be teaching you on the next way to change your life. Ladies and gentlemen, it's your regular host here, Dr. Afolabi Olatunji. But before we go here, we want to encourage you to subscribe, like, and share our YouTube page. Our community is growing every single day. The momentum is rising, and we are grateful and thankful to God for how far He has taken us. 8 months of consistent podcasting on this amazing program. It can be him, and I hope you're getting value all along. Members of our community are sharing and giving us feedback of how this class has been of huge impact in their lives. And we are grateful and excited for that. How about you beginning to conceive and also ensuring that you stay connected? You see, let me tell you, one of the things that you don't realize is that when you stay connected, we educate, enrich, and equip you with all the necessary resources and information that will empower you mentally to live the best of your life. Ladies and gentlemen, it's your regular host. I'll see you tomorrow, same time tomorrow on the same link on the same program, Wealth Secrets Mindset Mentorship class.